The process started with introducing them to the idea of traditional stories. So every week I'd sit down and I'd tell them a traditional story. We started looking at how to make shadow puppets, simple shadow puppets on the screen. I showed them the process of, you know, how the screen is made. It's an old shower curtain stretched on a coat rack with a work light behind it. Simple to do, black card drawn in chalks. Children then go to make their own stories with using shadow puppet characters that they've created, and they draw upon these old images, you know, which are often, you know, it's fairy tale land, so there's often, you know, the wicked character, or there's a wizard or a witch or something like that, and there's often the hero, and this is often you know, the old prince or princess. I've been working with them to then photograph the scenes of their storyboard on the screen, and then recording the narration. And then what I do is the narration, or them telling the story, and they each take a different part, and it puts them in the position of being like a little production team, so that each one of them finds their strength. The one who makes the best puppets, you know, might necessarily the one who knows, who can come up with the ideas for the story. So they actually sort of rise to their strengths, really. And although this is a very old medium, you know, playing with puppets and shadows and light on the screen, it's probably the oldest form of animation. It links in with all this wonderful technology that we have now, and this is the world that the children are growing up in. And sort of making that link between these older ways of working, more traditional ways of working, and modern media. Hopefully the schools will then take this on, and it's a thing that they can repeat, because all of the technology that's being used, card, the sticks and everything, even the shadow screens themselves, all stuff which they'll have, and the idea is that they can then, next year with another group, they can do it themselves.
If people had a lot of ideas in mind and they couldn't express it out on a piece of paper, they could make puppets and stuff like that. And I think Mr. Pitt think it was very good. I did, and I think Sir did. I'd really like Mr. Pitt to come back in again, because I like drawing. My favourite part was just working together in a group, and everything worked out happy. Yeah. And we did learn how to tell stories, because I don't really know how to make stories before, but now I know how to make them because we've been practicing on like boards and telling stories.
My favourite bit was making the puppets for it.
My favourite bit was the voice recording.
Yeah, mine too.
I liked the bit where we were displaying our puppets on the screen with like the decorations around it, like what we had made, the scenery, and taking photos. I like that part. That was fun.
Coming together as a group and actually creating the film all together.
Yeah. Group hug! Group hug for everyone!
I like doing the voice recording. I like doing the iMovies. I like the voice recording where we were shaking instruments.
It's not just the making of the puppets within the project. There's been an awful lot of literacy, the script writing, and they've obviously come up with the most fantastic creative ideas, which without that literacy won't happen anyway. And I think that those children now are going to take those literacy skills throughout the school and further on into comprehensive. But for the class teacher and the teacher assistants in that class, they're going to have those skills to do this project again next year.
Every story is different. Nobody has copied anybody else's, so they're all individual. Yeah? There was a word somebody used this morning. Can you remember what it was?
Speechless. Unique.
Unique. We had that word this morning. Well done.
I
Unique.
said it.
Yeah? Every story is unique. Yeah,
and it
so for
hasn't
them,
stopped in the classroom, has it?
no, it isn't. And
It's been taken
everything.
out onto the playground.
We taught year 3, didn't we?
Yes,
we
we've done
invited
some
year
peer
3
teaching. Yeah.
up to our classroom, and they've had a go at making puppets, and they've used them in stories.
Yeah.
So we've been spreading the word, haven't we?
Yeah.
Instead of just being sat down and say, right, you need to write a story, off you go, having the puppets and using their imaginations and talking to their friends about it and working within a group, that it was worked well for them. And it was lovely to see some of the children that wouldn't normally contribute in a whole class coming up with ideas and they wanted to share them as well. Like some of the quieter children who wouldn't be able to write it down on paper, the ideas were flowing out of them.
It was absolutely fabulous to watch the children taking very simple ideas and having a single puppet, which then went from a face mask to a body puppet, and then into different characters, and then collecting all the characters together and making storyboards up and pushing them then into actual little movies that we can sit and watch, listen to their voices. Watching their faces as these things came to life was absolutely fabulous. It was really quite awe-inspiring, you know. It was very emotional, but it was good to watch. It was absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Their literacy skills have come along fabulously just through writing scripts and storyboards, you know.
Certainly learnt a lot of new skills, and hopefully, given time, that I'll be as good as David. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.